Welcome to this episode of the Mazza's Musings podcast.
Hey.
Yep, we're getting into the Christmas spirit, and we are talking about our favorite and some of our least favorite Christmas movies. Eileen is joining me, and we're going to do a little love it, like it, leave it Christmas movie style. Some of them are Disney, some of them are otherwise. It's the movies that touch our hearts, the movies that make us cry, the movies that make us laugh. And of course, we always try to make you laugh a little bit with this podcast. And as always, Meghan is here to provide that with her Cuckoo Bananas joke of the week.
And now it's time for Meghan's
Cuckoo bananas joke.
Hi, Meghan. Do you have a joke for us today?
Yes, so.
Okay, let's hear it.
What is an elf's favorite kind of music?
I don't know. What is an elf's favorite kind of music?
Rap music.
Meghan doing a little beatboxing there.
No.
And it's rap music because they like to wrap presents. Okay, say goodnight.
Good night.
Wiki. All right, and keeping with the Christmas theme and the Christmas movie theme, just a little bit of trivia here for this week's Mazza's Mickey Minute.
Donald, wake up! It's showtime! Don't forget the orchestra!
Ah, there you are. And just in time.
Mom says there's even more magical stuff now.
For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors.
Hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness. And here we go!
Well, Disney is usually near or at the top of most lists when it comes to high-grossing movies. But Christmas movies really have not been a strong point for them, at least at the box office. Did you know that Disney, according to boxofficemojo.com, does not have a top 5 grossing Christmas movie? That's right. And in fact, the highest grossing Disney Christmas movie was The Santa Claus, which did a lifetime gross of almost $144 million. Its opening weekend was just over $19 million. It followed at number 8 by The Santa Claus 2, which grossed $139 million and change, and actually performed better in its opening than The Santa Claus did, the original. And at number 9, another Disney film was A Christmas Carol. Now, this is the animated version with Jim Carrey voicing Ebenezer Scrooge. And that came in at $137 million, almost $138 million. And those are the only movies that they have in the top 10. Now, The Santa Claus 3 came in at number 12, and that is just about it. A lot of Universal, a lot of Warner Brothers. You can actually find a lot of these movies on Hulu and Disney Plus now, but they aren't necessarily Disney movies. And I guess it just kind of goes to show, and you'll hear this in the episode with my opinion of The Santa Claus, is that box office success does not always equate to the best movie. We'll get into that a little later. But of course, while you're thinking about movies, you may be thinking about Hollywood Studios. And the next time you're going to go to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Well, and when you're thinking about that, you must be thinking about We Do Travel Right. Because We Do Travel Right has that one-on-one service of an agent to help you with all of your reservations and with everything that you need for your next Disney trip. And the best part is you're getting that individualized attention, but that agent has the power of a team behind them. In fact, many different teams. One of my favorite teams is the dining team, who will help you get all those hard to get reservations for your dining. But there are also people who will help you with your park tickets, help you with your hotel reservations, and people who are just there to help guide you through the parks and navigating Disney World, which is really a country unto itself. And the best part about all of it is their services are free. That's right. You are not paying We Do Travel Right anything extra to use their services. That's because Disney or Universal or all inclusives or cruise lines, they all build the use of an agent into their pricing already. So doesn't it just make sense to use the agent? So if you are ready to get your next magical vacation started today, head to wedotravelright.com/Mazza. That's wedotravelright.com/MAZA. Fill out the form, and they will get you started on your next magical vacation.
Well, I can't do any more damage around this popsicle stand.
So long, partner.
See you real soon.
And before we do anything else, I do have to make note that there is one additional person who reached out with a congratulatory message for the 100th episode, and I feel terribly that I left him out. Now, he was included in the countdown, and he was certainly happy to have been a part of it in that regard. But he's been such a big part of this podcast, and he's been a big part of my life as a friend, going back all the way to college. So I really want to make sure that he is getting his due. So thank you to Dan for also reaching out and recording a message to just say congratulations for the 100 episodes. And, you know, we're now on 101. So we are just going to keep this thing rolling. So here's Dan.
Hey, Chris, it's Dan, and I am very excited to have been a guest on your podcast a couple of times now. To help celebrate your 100th episode, I have a Cuckoo Bananas joke for you. Why was the number 100 always so full of itself? Because it thought it was a perfect 10 times 10. Waka waka. Congrats on 100 episodes. Here's to another 100. See ya.
Well, thank you, Dan. It's always great to have you as part of the podcast. I can't wait to talk to you more about Disney. I love talking about Disney with anybody, but especially you, because you have such great insight. I love having you on as a guest. So looking forward to the next time that we talk. And until then, I hope that you enjoy the episodes that we're putting out. And of course, we're always happy to have your feedback. Dan is one of the people who regularly will chime in with his opinions on things that we've talked about in the podcast. All right. With that out of the way, let's get to our main topic. All right. Well, Eileen and I are getting into the holiday season. Meghan and Eileen have been very busy decorating the inside of the house. I had a day off earlier this week, so I took care of a lot of the outside of the house, though Eileen and Meghan did a lot of the like wreaths and bows that we have on our fence and stuff. So the house is looking really nice at this point.
I was about to jump in and say, you better give Meghan and I credit for the fences, because if she hears you say you did the outside all by yourself, she will speak her mind.
No, yeah, basically I just did the part that involved getting on a ladder by myself.
Much appreciated.
You know, probably not the best idea to be on a ladder when the only family member around is Comet, you know, just in case I have that, you know, Chevy Chase moment. But then again, I wasn't actually like scaling the roof. So
I do remember when I was on the ladder, this is so off topic, but over the summer when I was taking lights down or something like that, and I told Meghan, if something happens, go over to our neighbor's house. And she's like, what if no one answers? And I said, well, then go over to like our other neighbor's house and our other neighbor's house.
Keep finding until you
And
find a neighbor.
basically, she's like, okay, but if no one answers at those 3 houses, can I go down the street to to our neighbors down the street? I'm like, yes, but that's a last resort. But she had her plan if I ended up passed out because a ladder made me fall off the roof.
All right. So we are going to be doing some love it, like it, leave it, Christmas movie style. And with the previous ones that we've done with these for the Disney parks, of course, we had it in categories. But seeing as these are all Disney movies, Christmas movies or Christmas specials, they all kind of fall into a category. We could have done subcategories, but that was just, making things even more complicated. So we're going to be randomly choosing with a randomizer 3 movies, and there could be some tough choices here in terms of loving
right, especially because it's totally random.
Yeah.
We could get 3 of the best ones in one
thing. So let's see what our first 3 are going to be. Okay, so the first one is Elf, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the animated one.
Like the original.
Yes. And Mickey's Christmas Carol. Okay, so for this first group of 3, we've got Elf, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Mickey's Christmas Carol.
My love it is the Grinch. That's definitely one of those traditions every year. I remember that was one of the first Christmas movies we watched together. You may not remember.
I don't remember that at all. You have a much better memory for things.
And we watched it up at University Park. So it was like, I don't know. I had bought it, and it was he decorated that little tree up there, and so I brought that up and we watched that.
University Park being our friend's apartment back when we first started dating.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
For context for anybody listening who doesn't know.
So we were sorry, I guess I could have said Mike's apartment.
Anyway.
But yeah, that was one of the first ones we ever, I think it was probably the first one we ever watched together. But anyway, back to that. Love It is the Grinch. I think, see, I really like Mickey's Christmas Carol, but I think there's other ones that I like better. So I'll go with Like It is Elf and Leave It as Mickey's Christmas Carol.
I'm with you with Love It being How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I think that it's one of those rare occurrences where taking a short book and turning it into a movie actually worked. Now, it's not a long thing. It's still like,
25 minutes or whatever.
But even the things that they added to it to make it fit doesn't feel like filler.
Yeah.
No,
I think it was a very well done movie.
And of course, Boris Karloff does a great job narrating it. I'm going to go Like It, Mickey's Christmas Carol, and Leave It, Elf. Elf isn't anything that I've ever really been super into. It's something that really has just kind of become saturated because there hasn't been anything. I think that it came out during a time when Will Ferrell was a really big thing. So you just saw a lot of it. So I don't know if it's actually as good as, it's made out to be, simply because we just saw it a whole bunch,
And I think there's something with that. But I also think you pointed out like how it's one of the only like good Christmas movies to have been like recently, like original Christmas movies in recent years. That's been.
Yeah. Really. My big thing is like, I don't know how actually good it is, or if it's just everybody saw it a whole bunch because it was on TBS all the time or whatever.
What I think it was TBS, but I don't know what it's on now, but yeah.
Alrighty, so the next three we have Home Alone, The Polar Express, and Frosty the Snowman.
Okay. I was worried. My love, it's Frosty. Again, just one of those. And I mean, we have it on DVD now, but you probably remember too, like growing up, like there was like one night a year that Frosty was on TV. And if you didn't see it, you missed it. There was one night a year that Rudolph was on TV. If you didn't so now we, last weekend we did a movie night and we threw on Frosty. But like as kids, it was like an event when you watched like those classic Christmas movies. My like it is Polar Express, and it's a cute movie, but I have a lot of when I taught second grade, we started the PJ day before Christmas break with Polar Express, and when we were there, it was only second grade came in their PJs. And now like every school everywhere does like a PJ day with Polar Express and everything like that. But
you guys were the OG.
And we might have been the OG because my coworker at that point's daughter in a different district was doing it. But it still was just like, yeah, we started at my school. And it was just such a nice, fun, like relaxing way to do it. And and leave it. I know I might be the only person born in my time period that is leaving Home Alone, but I'll watch it if it's on. I'm not like I have to watch Home Alone.
I'm with you with Frosty being the love it. I don't know how great it's held up, but I suppose Meghan still loves watching it. So I guess that speaks to how well it's held up.
Yeah. I think there's some things in there that, wouldn't be put in a movie nowadays, but
I don't even know if there's, I'm more just like,
is it as popular today as it was when we were?
Well, probably not. I'm just more saying there's nothing like seriously offensive about it or anything like that.
True.
It's more just like that animation, it was an early animation style.
Yeah.
Kids don't really have like even Christmas parties like that way. So it's more just like, will this connect with kids? Even looking at us, I mean, it was a bit dated in terms of that whole concept, but overall, it's when you talk about something that's timeless, the fact that Meghan looks forward to watching it kind of speaks to the fact that it has held up and it does have that timeless element to it.
Yeah, I think if parents show it to their kids, the kids will like it.
And you can show it to your kids without any reservations about my like it is Home Alone. I'm a lot like you in this. Like, I remember we didn't go to the movies very often growing up. This was a movie that we went to the movies to go see. I remember as a kid really enjoying it. I've seen it a few other times and it's a fine movie, but I don't hold it in the same esteem that
some people
do. It made, at one point, it was like the highest grossing movie like of all time or something like that. Which again, I think people are just like, well, everybody saw it, so it must be great. Or, we think it's great because everybody went and saw it. It's okay. It's a fine movie. In other groups, it might be something that I leave. The Polar Express is my leave it, and that it was without hesitation.
I know. I knew that was.
I love that book, and like I said, How the Grinch Stole Christmas was a way that you can extend something a little bit and still have it work. It's the exact opposite with
Polar Express.
I agree. I think it totally loses like any of the magic that the book has. And that's not even accounting for the fact that the technology they were using just wasn't good enough. You know,
It was like this odd time in like
it
animation.
was I'm even putting that aside because, compared to what it is today, it's obviously like you look back and you're like, wow, that's not great. But there's just too much. It just doesn't work. It's one of those things that you tried to take a fairly short book and extend it into a feature length thing, and you just didn't do it. You didn't land it.
Well, you said it lost its magic. You've never watched it with a group of second graders.
Well, no, but I'm talking about me. Like,
no,
this
and
is me
I get
watching the
that. No, I
movies,
get
and,
that.
it just doesn't do anything for me. And there's no sentimentality for me, because I wasn't a kid when it came out, so it wasn't like a thing. To your point, I haven't seen it with a bunch of second graders, so it's just like there's nothing about this movie that's really redeeming for me. Like Tom Hanks can't save this movie. All right, so the next group we've got A Charlie Brown Christmas, A Christmas Story, and Miracle on 34th Street, the 1994 version.
That's the one with Matilda. Yes.
It's the newer one.
Okay. So not the black
I don't
and
know
white
who
one.
Matilda is.
Sorry, Matilda. It's the girl who played Matilda in the movie.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, a lot of times you'll refer to celebrities by their first names.
No, that's what we knew her as.
It's amazing how many celebrities Eileen is on a first name basis with. It's truly remarkable, and I wish that you would just introduce me to some of these people too.
Except for Drake May. We're on a first and last name basis with him.
Everybody is.
Right, I know. So he's one that I don't have a first name basis with. Okay. This one's kind of tricky for me, but I guess I'm going to go with adult Eileen, what I've seen recently. So love It's Charlie Brown. I love that one. Like it. I think I'll go with A Christmas Story. I mean, what else would we watch on Christmas Day in 10-minute snippets and see the whole movie by the end of the day?
And not in order.
But you've seen the entire movie enough to know exactly. And then I guess leave it. I'll do Miracle on 34th Street. And that one's hard because that was one that we absolutely love to watch growing up. And I know you have your opinions on it, and I'm sure that's your leave it because you have very strong opinions on that version. But so I have a lot of sentimental value to that one. But I think given the fact that I probably haven't seen that movie in probably 5 to 10 years, I guess that makes it the leave it. I do think Meghan would really enjoy it. And I know you want to show her the original, but I think she'd really enjoy the not black and white one too.
Well, there is a colorized version of that. But anyway, Charlie Brown is my love it. That's the kind of movie that whether you're a kid or you're an adult, you're going to get, and you're going to get something out of it. And it's kind of remarkable that movie was even made. Like it's not your typical sentimental Christmas special. There's a lot of like negativity in it. A lot of questioning. Plus, when they first released it, even then there was concerns about the level of, and it's not for very long, but the overt religious.
I was going to say that the religious piece in there is,
but I think that's one of the things that makes it great is it's doing something a little different. It's still keeping it fun, but also looking at, or it's taking a societal, microscope to it a bit, and the commercialism of Christmas, and really how there's a way to get past all of that. And, it's a different way to go at the whole idea of appreciating the true spirit of Christmas by really tackling one of the major issues of the holiday head on. So,
and you think about when that was made too, like, and I mean, I think like it's 100% commercial still today, but like you think about, clearly it's been a thing for a long time.
yeah. My like it, and this is actually closer than you'd think, but it is A Christmas Story. And this basically comes down to, yeah, it's perfectly entertaining. I think it's very hard. This is something that actually in the podcast episode that I did with Todd James Pierce about the making of Mary Poppins, he talked about how difficult it was to make that into a movie because it was basically a series of short stories, like to read to kids at bedtime. The book that A Christmas Story is based off of was just a series of short stories.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's really difficult to piece all of those things together. And if you look at it, it really is. But what makes that work, I think, is that that's very much the way a kid's mind works, and how an adult's memory of childhood experiences works. Is it's like bits and pieces, and it's just like episodes in time. So I think that while some people have criticized it, they say it's boring, there isn't like a real like story, they were able to weave it all together, and really the quest for the Red Ryder
I was going to say, it's all about the red wire.
Is the connecting tissue there, but it's all of these small little stories. If you had one movie that was just all about this quest for the BB gun, it probably would have done well. And truthfully, this didn't really do well until they started playing it all the time.
I was going to say before too, is like, is it actually good, or is it good because it's like you said with Elf?
Yeah,
like,
no, I there's an element of that, I don't think it's like the classic that, that's kind of like pegged as because we see it so often. But I think that there's a lot to this movie, just like when you're looking at it from like the source material and how they made it into this, this cohesive story that I think works, so yeah. Not a film classic or anything like that, but good enough, and it has enough quotable lines that
I was gonna say, what would like that would take away about half of your Christmas quotes if that was gone,
right?
You'd still have like,
I'd still have Christmas Vacation.
I was about to say,
or, some other ones, but yeah, and Miracle on 34th Street. This one, it's just, I just feel like the 94 version just pales so much in comparison. And it starts with the girl. Like one of the major parts of this movie is like the heavy skepticism of that this little girl has, like this adult level skepticism. And like, it's just not sold the same way. And and there are things that they did also the movie's longer, so there are things in there, elements in there that I think just make it longer for the sake of making it longer. And it just doesn't hit right for me. Especially with, the other version having such an incredible cast. And I think also maybe a little bit, this version, the 94 version, works a little bit better. It's more kind of like aimed at all audiences, whereas the 1940s one, it's a movie for adults.
Yeah.
So they're driving at different things. And I think that, and if the randomizer chooses it, I'll get into the original a little bit more, but it just doesn't land for me. And again, it's something that I don't have any sentimentality towards. I understand why you have a different view on it. All right, so the next group, we've got the Santa Claus. Miracle on 34th Street, the 1947 version. And The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Well, this is an interesting one then. Okay, this is not what I thought it was going to be. That's what makes the randomizer so weird.
Yeah.
Is like with this, I think my love it's going to be probably the Santa Claus.
Wow.
Yeah. Which I don't necessarily love.
But of the three,
I think I don't want to say have the biggest connection to, but like have probably seen the most. And it is a funny movie. You know, I do enjoy watching it, but it's also not a movie I'm going to say, let's watch this tonight. Whereas at some point, Elf, we are going to sit down and watch for the night, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think my it would be Miracle on 34th Street. And I mean, I've probably only seen that a handful of times too. I definitely it's not one that we'll watch every year. We'll watch it occasionally. We'll watch it, but depends on how much time we have to watch movies.
Right.
Probably won't watch it this year with the way that our weekends are looking. But again,
we also don't own it.
So yeah, we do.
Really? I don't think we own that one. That's not. Is that in the pack that we have?
Yep.
Oh, well, that just goes to show,
right?
How often we've watched it, because I thought that was something.
I'm 90% sure we have it.
Okay.
But it's in color on so it might be the colorized version that you had mentioned.
I didn't know there was a black and white version.
I thought it was black and white.
I thought it's one of the stop animation ones, like Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
What are you talking about? Miracle on 34th Street?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had switched gears to.
No, I was still explaining my Miracle on 34th Street.
I thought you were switching gears to the last one.
No.
Oh,
no.
Well, we definitely have Miracle.
Yes, that's what I was.
Street. Yes. Sorry, I misunderstood where you were going.
You were not listening at all.
I was listening. I thought that you were transitioning from one to the other.
No, I was still saying because we don't watch it every year. We don't always have time. I can't tell you the last time I watched Year Without a Santa Claus. That's definitely my leave it.
And this is why I'm confused, because we watched Miracle on 34th Street last year.
Yes, but I don't think it's one we've watched every single year.
Okay, so that's why I thought you were transitioning into your.
No,
okay.
No, yeah, I thought
you were making a really seamless segue, and apparently not.
No,
sorry.
No. Anyway, yeah, no, I can't tell you the last, but yes, Year Without Santa Claus, I'm pretty sure is that claymation style. And no, we don't own that, and I can't tell you the last time I've seen it. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going.
But right, our Miracle on 34th Street, it has at least the cover is colorized.
The color is colorized.
The
cover is colorized.
But the movie's black and white.
The movie is black and white.
There might be a little bit.
No, there's no. I'm trying to remember if our version, because there were some that were sold that had both versions on the disc.
Oh, I mean, I don't need to know that, but the cover is
the cover is colorized. Yes. And Miracle on 34th Street, the 1947 version, is my favorite. I think that it's aimed at it's an adult film, not an adult. It's a film for adults,
which is probably why on top of the fact that the new one came out when we were kids, that's probably why we didn't watch it.
It really is. It's a real conversation about, priorities, with the holidays being the backdrop for a larger conversation about, about what's important in life, So I think that's really why I like it so much, is that it takes the holiday, which is supposed to be, we've talked about with other things like Charlie Brown Christmas, remembering what's important, and it takes that and it puts it in a real world lens, you know? So that's why I really like it. And all of the actors, like the cast is top notch. As far as I'm concerned, that is Santa Claus. Like, yeah, he's perfect. And yeah, so it's just, that is one that I know you're not as excited about, but that's one that I would watch every year. Like that would be on my list, you know. This is hard for me. The like it, because I would leave both of these movies if I had that opportunity. I am going to say like it, The Year Without a Santa Claus.
You hate the Santa Claus that much?
I do. That movie subverts the magic of Santa in such a perverse way. The entire premise of the movie is first Santa dying, and then
Dad having to replace.
Well, like whatever, you know, that's, you know, that's, you have to make Tim Allen Santa, whatever. Like the first half hour of the movie, you kill Santa Claus. That for me is enough. On top of everything else, you're embroiling like this whole thing with like custody battles and, you know, all this other stuff that, you know, just you manage to make a movie about Santa Claus that has no magic in it, and that's a hard feat. And on top of everything else, every single major character in this movie is a gigantic whiner. Everybody, from the kid who's got a whiny voice on top of everything else, every single one of them is whining and lamenting their place in life, and nobody actually learns a thing. Okay. There's nothing good about this movie. There is nothing good about this movie outside of that one scene where they're going down the hallway with ZZ Top playing. That's the one redeeming quality of the entire thing. This movie it's tough to be a bug level bad.
Okay.
In my mind.
Well, I mean, I definitely don't love it the way that I said I had to, but honestly, all of these ones are probably for me. Anyway.
All right. So let's see if we can get on a happier note here. We've got The Christmas Chronicles. It's a Wonderful Life, and The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay. I can make this one work.
Okay.
Muppet Christmas Carol is my love it. So I guess I go back to Christmas Story and say that's probably only 40% of your quotes, because at least 20% come from Muppet Christmas Carol. And then we have to include Christmas Vacation as well. But yeah, Muppet Christmas Carol is the best Christmas Carol, in my opinion. I know you have another one that you like too, and I don't really like, that's one that like I've grown, like I don't remember really watching that much as a kid. Mm-hmm. But that was one that you kind of instilled in me, but it took. Whereas some of the other ones that like as an adult that I've started watching, I'm not as attached to. That one is a definite yes. I think like it, I'm going to go with It's a Wonderful Life. And that's one that, much like I said with Muppets, that did take. I never saw that as a kid. But I always heard the message, and you got the message. But that one is definitely like a classic movie, and I'll sit and I enjoy watching it, but it's if we didn't watch it, I'm not like sad about it. So I guess it's just a like it. And the Christmas Chronicles are cute. I do like, we've watched it a couple of times. I think Meghan would be at an age now where she'd enjoy it. But if I never saw it again, I wouldn't remember it.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, you know,
mm-hmm.
I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that movie that one time that a student begged me every day for weeks to watch it, and finally did, just so that I could say I watched it. It's cute, but
yeah.
You know.
This one's hard for me in another way, because there would be two that I would love, one that I would like. I would leave none if I was able to do that. But I think that your ranking is the same as mine for this. Muppet Christmas Carol is I it's darn near flawless as a Christmas movie, and it's honestly darn near flawless as a movie. it's um it's really, other than the parts where it has to be either for comedic value or to make the Muppet characters that are available work for. It's generally very close to the source material. It really keeps with the original spirit of it. I think Michael Caine was great, and he's talked about this. There's a joke that he's like, "I'm gonna do this as serious as a car wreck," but he really did. Like in interviews, he was just like, "This is Dickens. I'm going to play it as Dickens, and like the way it's supposed to be."
Which is so perfect with the Muppets, because
and that's one of the best things about like the other Muppet movies that I've seen, especially like the original Muppet movie, which you thought was just like insane and didn't make any sense, and that's true. But one of the things that I love about that carries over to this one is nobody questions that there's a talking pig and a talking frog. It's just it's part of what's happening. And so the Muppets, as opposed to some of the other things that they've attempted, they separate the Muppets as, okay, these are Muppets and these are people. Whereas when they're able to just blend the two, it really works. And Michael Caine treats the Muppets like they're other human characters, so I think that it hits the sentimental notes when it has to, because it's genuine like that. It's the Muppets, so there's that certain amount of humor, and none of it feels forced. And yeah, I just think that they did a terrific job with it, and I think that it was a heavy lift for them to do after Jim Henson's death. So this was a project that I think his son Brian, was Brian his son? I think it was his son. Like took on and produced. So it was difficult from that aspect as well. There are a lot of that movie could have gone very badly, and it went very well instead. It's a Wonderful Life is a classic. That's my like it. If I could choose two love it's, that would be there as well. I think it was, again, it's another movie for adults. It's not something that when I was younger I didn't quite get. I knew that it was a classic movie, but especially as you get older in life, a lot of people can relate to things not going the way that you've planned, and circumstances changing the way that your life goes, and how easy it can be to not appreciate
what you
have and the direction that life has taken you, and the positive that comes out of that as well. So that would be I like it. I guess the Christmas Chronicles is my leave it. I thought it was a fun, honestly, when you're talking about two newer movies, if you were to put that up against Elf, I would take Christmas Chronicles. It's a lot of fun, and I think that's it's clever too.
But there's some sad stuff in it too. They create the emotion.
They do.
You attach to the characters.
It feels a lot more. It feels a lot more genuine, honestly. And there are certain, but it's a different take on Santa without losing. Look, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to Santa and the Christmas season and stuff like that, making sure that you're remembering the magic of it all is so important. That's why I really dislike when there are times when people try to over explain how Santa does things. It's Christmas magic. That's all that it is, you know? But yeah, it all feels a lot more genuine, whereas Elf kind of is much more okay. Let's we've got
Well,
a
they're
story. We're
also
gonna stick a
two very
gag in
different style
here, and
movies.
they are. But when you look at it, it's a Will Ferrell movie. It follows a formula that works for Will Ferrell movies, as opposed to this is just like, oh yeah, this is a. You don't look at this and you're just like, oh yeah, well that's a Kurt Russell movie. No, you're like, this is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
So all right, I think we'll have enough for two more go rounds. All right, so it's Christmas Vacation.
Oh gosh, and I know what at least one more has to be in there, and I'm stressing.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
And How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
Okay.
This is
well, my love it's. No, I was just worried that like something else would be in there that hasn't come up yet, and it would have made it hard. But no, so this one's going to be hard because I really so love it's Christmas Vacation, and that is one that I probably watched the first time with you. And that we've talked before how like being the oldest of 6, I definitely was much more like sheltered, at least in the movies that not sheltered, but like
the movies available to you wasn't very different.
I wasn't watching like at friends' houses, or I'd go to the movies and stuff like that. So it wasn't like I wasn't seeing some of the like more current movies.
Sure.
Or the more like teenage movies. But at home, we were definitely watching more of the animations, the Disney movies, things like that.
Well, and Christmas Vacation came out in 1989.
Well, right.
Really, even
so
like when I saw it for the first time, it was like on VHS. So you weren't watching that at home.
Yeah. Right. Correct. And that's if it had come out in theaters or something, maybe I would have seen it. But yeah. And so it's Nightmare Before Christmas and
Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is hard.
This is hard. I think I'm going to go with Nightmare Before Christmas as my like it because I don't have a searing hatred toward it.
Okay.
When we watched the Jim Carrey Grinch, I did go see that in theaters and I was so mad. It annoyed me so much. Like the girl who played Cindy Lou annoyed the crap out of me. And I'm not a Jim Carrey fan. There's some stuff he does that's good, but like I know, again, plenty of people my age are like, Jim Carrey's the greatest thing. He annoyed me. So like watching that movie, I just felt annoyed so much of the movie.
Yeah.
So if I never saw Nightmare Before Christmas again, I wouldn't care. But I don't have that like, ugh, I'm so annoyed feeling when I'm watching it.
Yeah. That's fair. I think my ranking's the same on this. Christmas Vacation is love it. This was one that I did watch. I won't say necessarily as a kid because it came out in 89. So it came out when I was 7. I certainly didn't go see it in theaters, but it's one that, both of my parents really liked. So when I was a little bit older, getting towards the teen years, we watched it quite a bit. Still watch it all the time. Again, totally quotable movie. It's funny. It is. There's like that level of family dysfunction, but still, even like, the in-laws can't stand each other and everything like that. But at the end of the day, they all still kind of care about each other,
Yeah.
So yeah. That's the love it. That's appointment television for us every Christmas season. much like you, I think that I'll say like it for Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't get the obsession with it. And I think that's what I'll say about it. Is I just don't get it, you know? So it's not that I really have like a strong dislike towards it. I just don't get it, you know? Not like I don't get the premise, but I don't get the appeal of it, you know? And I just cannot, I can't, the Jim Carrey Grinch movie is hard for me to look at. Like, beyond, you know, you mentioned the girl being annoying. You mentioned, you know, not liking Jim Carrey. Certainly he's over the top in this, but that was the assignment, you know? I don't like anything about this movie. I don't like the set pieces. I don't like the costuming. I don't like, you know, I don't like the dialogue. I don't like the way they talk to each other. There's nothing about this movie that like I like. So you're very accurate with saying this movie annoys you. It annoys the ever living crap out of me, and I don't understand why it's held in such high regard, especially when you put it up against the source material. You know, when you look at how the Grinch Stole Christmas
and I think that's what disappointed me even the most. Obviously, you have to add some things in to make it a full-length film, everything like that. But I've seen it done with other things in a much more successful.
And the thing is, if you have to add that much, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Like there was no need. That's probably the biggest thing is there was no need for this movie. There was no need for, you know, a backstory for the Grinch. There was no need for any of it. And to do it in that kind of way, like I don't know what the circumstances were that the Seuss estate allowed that to happen. Because they're really tight with, and maybe they've since gotten tight with, you know, with what they allow and what they don't allow. Like we here in Springfield have the Dr. Seuss Museum, which is independent from Seuss Enterprises, but everything that's in the Dr. Seuss Museum had to be approved by Seuss Enterprises and Dr. Seuss's widow before it could be put in that museum. So when I think about that and how limiting they were when they built that, and then seeing what they did to one of his most beloved characters, it's just mind-boggling. Okay, last one. Here we go. It is The Little Drummer Boy. Santa Claus is coming to town, and my phone is dying. Let's see if we can get that last one. Okay, and Rudolph.
I was about to say, it has to be Rudolph. We haven't done Rudolph yet.
All right.
I think this might be the easiest one I've had yet.
Okay, go for it.
Rudolph, Santa Claus is coming to town, Little Drummer Boy. The end.
The end.
No comment. That is a...
So because of where this fell for me, Rudolph gets a bit of a stay of execution. If I had to pick of those three, I'd say the Love It is going to be Rudolph, but there's so much about that movie I don't like.
See, and I think there's so much stuff in there, but anyway, I'm not going to go into that.
There's a whole thing about Rudolph that I could get into.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into those opinions on Rudolph, because we look at it as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer saved the day, and that's...
I guess I'll go like it. Santa Claus is coming to town. You know, this is one of those things that...
You don't like the explanations, the over.
Exactly. The over-explanation of the magic of Santa. Movie. It's fine. Little Drummer Boy is hot garbage.
Yes.
Hot garbage. We have it as part of like a DVD set of
I don't think we've
Christmas
ever watched
movies.
it. Maybe we watched it once and we're like,
we watched it like, because we watched it when we were kids. And when we got that pack, we watched it. And it was just like, God, this is awful. Awful. Remains awful. We'll probably never watch it again. Now, if Meghan were to say,
If she wants to watch it,
then
yes.
fine. But I think she'd quickly learn, wow, this is bad.
I think she's perfectly content like watching that song on the sing-alongs. Because we have
we've also got
a DVD of sing-alongs, which is most of like those classic old school
the stop action things, plus like Frosty and stuff like that. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and I think some of Rudolph is 100% sentimental with me. That was like
that's fair. I mean,
the one we watched. I definitely have also used that as a lesson of how to treat people, like as a teacher. Like we it was a stretch, but it was Christmas week, and we were like, the kids are wild. How can we? So we watched that, and then we talked about like treating people respectfully and made connections to the movie. So it was a stretch, but it's
also a classic example of codependent behavior, but that's a different discussion for a different day.
You can't say that it's not a classic movie though. And
with some classic movies, there are problematic parts.
That movie would not be able to be made today.
Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, I think that we are much more in tune with what healthy relationships look like and things like that. So
yes,
you could certainly make the movie today. I just think like it would, I don't know. It's fine. It's a fine movie. It's fine.
We'll definitely be watching that soon. Probably Friday night.
But if things fell a different way, Rudolph would have been a leave it, and so like depending on what movies it was up against, Rudolph very well could have been a leave it for me.
Never. I was worried, and you may have figured that out. The Christmas Vacation category, because I was like, Rudolph hadn't come up yet, and I was just like, it's got to come up.
Yep.
It's got to be in there. But
I actually thought for a second, like when, I what I was fearing when I was watching it spin at certain points, I was just like, we're going to end up with some category with like the Muppets and I'm trying
Christmas
to think
Vacation.
And like it was going to be some kind of stacked category where you were going to have to make a very hard decision. That would have been the case where Rudolph would have been a leave it for me.
But you know what there definitely were somewhere it's like, oh, man, please make this work.
So are there any other, I think we covered a good number of them. Now I only included in the list that we were randomizing off of movies that I know we both had seen.
I was waiting for Die Hard because I was totally going to leave it.
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen Die Hard.
Right. I know. That's why I was going to leave it.
So,
but I know that's like your favorite Christmas movie. So
I have a tradition where, when Eileen and Meghan are out of the house, I will watch Die Hard because it's not a movie that I can watch when Meghan's around, and wrap Christmas presents. It's a tradition. I really enjoy it. Yes, I think Die Hard is a great movie. Yes, I consider Die Hard a Christmas movie because the fact that it's Christmas is a major plot point for the story. I didn't include things like Love Actually because I didn't know if you had seen it before. Have you?
Yeah, but it's been like probably not since college.
Another movie that I can't understand why it's considered a classic. All of those people have some serious psychoses.
Which one? Because I know there was one left there. What was that?
That was the Christmas Carol with George C. Scott, which is the other version of
that's the one you
Christmas
really like,
Carol
right?
That I really like that we own.
While we're talking Christmas Carol, possibly the best ever version was the Flintstones Christmas Carol.
I have never seen that.
Oh man, it's so great. Like they all get sick, so they're like different people. What's the dinosaur?
Dino?
Yeah. I can't tell you the last time but that was when we watched all the time as kids, and it was
I am going to have to look
Adult
that up.
Eileen, I have no idea, but like that was one that like Dino ended up on stage, and it was
Wow.
he played one. He played one of the ghosts, probably the ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, because there's no speaking part in
there
that.
you go.
But yeah, people got sick, and then they had to. It was a good one.
I'm just trying to think of other things that weren't included in the list, but I'm failing to come up with. I know that there are others, but there's I did not put the Star Wars Holiday Special on the list. God, that was bad.
Yeah, I'm sure that like
it's taken a second life though. It's funny. It's become
really?
like nobody actually thinks it's good, but there's enough fascination around it at this point
that people are
that Disney, now the whole thing is surrounding Chewbacca and his family celebrating Life Day.
Okay.
And now they have at the Disney parks Chewie in his Life Day like robes and like the orb that yeah, so you can this holiday season you can get your picture with Life Day Chewie. So yeah, it's interesting how these things kind of like morph and like end up with a new life. So all right, well, I think that we've pretty much covered everything that
nothing else is standing out to me.
I mean, there are some sequels and things like that, that
but
we don't really need to get into, but I just wanted to make sure that there weren't any egregious omissions, movies that you're just like, wait, you forgot about X.
Did you like use Google to come up with movies, or did you do it on your own?
No, I pretty much just thought about the movies that we've seen, or I know that have cultural, pop culture relevance. So I guess another one that I didn't include because I wasn't sure if you'd seen it or would remember seeing is White Christmas.
That's the one that came up here. I'm like, I may have seen it. I wouldn't remember it. I think we've got most of like you could go into a lot of things because there's a ton of them being listed here, but like the classics definitely were all got in. There's some creepy looking things here.
Yeah, there's a weird subgenre of like Christmas horror that is just I mean, I guess they can make horror out of anything.
Yeah, and of course we didn't touch anything Hallmark because we don't do that. Right. But I think you got pretty much anything. If we missed anything really big, please let us know.
Yeah. And beyond that, if you want to play along, I'll put the list up on Facebook so that people can share which ones they would love, like, or leave, and we can talk about those in a future episode.
Sounds great.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
No, I'm still scrolling through movies to see if there's anything that was missed. But I think pretty much we've got it.
All right.
Yeah. So have a wonderful December. And I don't know, if I don't see anyone, have a great New Year.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Well, thanks for coming on this little journey that Eileen and I went on through Hollywood at Christmas time, so to speak. And let us know what you think about some of these groupings. Now, these were all random. I had come up with a list, as I said, and then we pulled out some just random pairings or groups that we had to choose from. So unlike some of the other ones that we've done with this, where there's been a little bit more structure, this was a little bit more of a wild card. And, you could hear some of the stress that we had about, is this going to be? What is this going to be? So anyway, I'm really enjoy the Christmas season. People in the past have thought me a Scrooge. partially because, and this is going to be the hot take that people might get on me about, I think that 95% of Christmas music is absolute hot garbage. Absolute hot garbage. And I think that Michael Bublé is nothing more than a glorified lounge singer. I said it, and I stand by it. But other than that, there's so much to love about the Christmas season. There's so much positivity. And I feel really fortunate that me and my family are in a position where, we are able to enjoy some things that perhaps some others aren't. And that's something that I want us all to be mindful of this holiday season. Just remember that, there are those who this holiday season are struggling, whether it's financially, whether it's, emotionally, mentally. There's some people who are just trying to hold it together. There are some people who are lonely this time of year. Whatever the case may be, just remember as you're operating through this season to do so with compassion. And I think that that's the biggest ask, is just make sure that we are treating everybody the way that we would want to be treated. And we should do that all the time, but especially this time of year, the stress and everything like that is a little bit higher for a lot of different reasons. And we're going to have a lot of fun stuff coming up in the rest of this year and into next year. And the best way to stay abreast of everything that's going to be going on with the podcast is to check out our social media. We're on Facebook at the Maz's Musings Podcast. We are on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter, X, at Maz's Musings Pod. We are also on TikTok at Maz's Musings Podcast. We are on Blue Sky, and you can also find us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, so go ahead and subscribe there. You can also find out all the updates by going to mazasmusings.wordpress.com and signing up for our newsletter. And the newsletter comes in your inbox once a week, lets you know what you might have missed, what's coming up, and other cool things, whether it's news or sometimes it's sweepstakes. Sometimes we'll shout out other podcasts. Whatever it is, it keeps you informed on the things that we're interested in and the things that we've got going on at the Maz's Musings Podcast. While you are on the website, you can also find past episodes. You can find more information about this podcast. And if you're looking to support us monetarily, help us with some of the small costs that go into putting this podcast together, you can buy us a blue milk. Of course, there are plenty of other ways that you can help us and support us. And one of the best ways is to tell other people about this podcast. Word of mouth is awesome. It's the best way to connect us with new people and new audiences. But you can also go and leave a rating and a review on your favorite podcatcher, because that helps bump us up in those algorithms that make it easier for people to find this podcast. So, with all that said, I want to say once again, as always, I hope you have a great weekend and a great week. For the Maz's Musings Podcast is brought to you by Hi Dad Soup. Check them out at Mickey and Minutes on Instagram.